basically have two rectangles laying on top of one another, but it kind of gives me a little bit of an orientation. Okay, so I'm going to put these construction lines on the old construction layer, get them out of the way so I can see them. Okay, so I think the next easiest thing for me to work on it would be uh, the hidden line here that goes from one side of the 2.125 diameter portion of the eccentric to the other. So I think I want to project those up, those endpoints. So I will go from the endpoint here. Now, I know this is obvious, but I want to point it out just to make you think about it. Now, if this is a cylindrical portion, okay, down at the very bottom of the cylinder, of course, is going to be its thinnest point, and it's going to get thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker until it reaches the center line. And at the center line, it's going to start getting more and more thin until it, of course, reaches the edge here, okay? And I bring that up because of what happens when you take a notch out of it like we have here. It's actually going to create a more narrow portion, okay? Because if I'm looking down on the object from the top view, this section is going to look wider than this because, again, it gets thicker as it goes from here to the center line. So it doesn't mature basically from here to the center line, whereas along this section, it does reach its widest point here. So we're going to trim off. Basically, we're going to notch out some rectangles to represent that. Okay, and then we'll have a line going from here to here. All right. So of course this portion is wider than this portion. Okay, so I think maybe the next easiest thing to work on would be, and I'm just kind of picking out things, and this may not be the right way to do this, but oh yeah, let me put these on the old construction layer. Okay, the part where the hole is, okay, it has a surface with just a straight left to right line, and if you look over in this view, there's a surface with a straight left to right line. And what that's going to mean in our view up here is that this is basically going to create a square or a rectangle depending on the dimensions of these lines. So let's go to our construction layer, and I will draw lines again straight up. Where did it go? Okay, so it looks like our flat area is going to be right there in that square shape. So let me go to my visible layer, and okay, so let me switch these to the construction layer, the old construction layer. Okay, and I think maybe this is a good time to go ahead and add the circle that represents the hole. So let me go ahead and get back on my construction line. Construction layer, sorry. Sometimes it's hard to do this and talk at the same time. So the diameter of this hole is 0.43. I don't have my book in front of me, but this is what I drew it at, 0.43. So I want to draw that same size circle up top. So I will get back on the visible layer and draw a circle with a diameter of 0.43. Okay, so I'm going to put these on the old construction layer. Okay, and just to take a quick look, I'm going to kind of see where we are. I'm going to turn off the current construction layer. And this is kind of what our object is looking like, and I would have a hard time visualizing that, but just going through the steps, that's kind of what we're going to have to do here. Okay. Okay, so where to go now? Unfortunately, I think we've exhausted the more easy things, and we're going to have to dig into this a little deeper. Let me turn my construction layer back on. And I think what I'll work on now is, if you look at the right side view, you see the circle here, and this circle is closest to you, the smaller diameter, and then you have the larger one in the back. Okay, and you can tell that by looking at the front view. Alright, you have this portion here, and it goes all the way back, and then it gets to the larger part of the eccentric, the larger diameter portion. Okay, so I'm thinking this area in here is not correct, specifically the line from here to here and the line above here, and this line should extend to here. And I think it'll make more sense when I actually extend my line. I think the way I'll do that is I will just use a grip edit and extend that up, and then trim here, then I'll trim here. And I think maybe you can see that more now, okay, because this is the 2.125 diameter portion, and this is also going to be 2.125. And again, it stays at this diameter until it reaches basically this hidden line in the front view, and so the same thing needs to happen here. Okay, so what should we look at now? Well, in the front view, I mentioned earlier that this portion, this line here, is formed when the smaller radius, the 1.625 radius, meets the 2.125. I'm sorry, when the 1.625 diameter meets the 2.125 diameter. I want to get this out. Same thing for this line. Okay, that's where the 1.625 diameter meets the 2.125 diameter, and that's what creates those lines. So let's just work with one of these and see what happens. Okay, let me go to my construction layer, and I said at the very beginning of the video that this line coincides with this point right here. Okay, that's where the two meet. And let's see where that meets in the top view. Okay, so that tells me that this line also needs to be up here. So I could actually just copy that same line and bring it up here. Alright, and let me put these on the old construction layer. Alright, I'm not real sure where it goes after that, but I know that that line should be there. Okay, so we're just going to leave it where it is right now. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and look at this same line down here. Let's look where these meet. Okay, this is where the small diameter meets the large diameter. I'm just going to project that up and bring that across. Okay. Now, in this view, now think about it. This line is going to be below the widest point of the cylinder. Okay, so this line is actually going to be a hidden line. Now, if you'll notice, I'm just going to erase this temporarily. That line I just drew, the construction line, actually lays over the visible line that I just drew. And remember the precedence of lines, that visible lines always take precedence over hidden lines. So basically, it should be a hidden line from here to here. That's all I know right now. I'm kind of feeling my way through it. So I'm going to bring that construction line back. I'm going to go to my hidden layer and then draw a line from here to here. Okay, I'm going to put these on the old construction layer, and we'll try to figure out where we need to go next from here.